Those who are aspiring to write civil service exam in the year 2026-2027, CSBIS Academy is starting a new batch on April 23rd on Wednesday. The new name of the batch is Vishwavasu. As this is a Telugu New Year this year, Vishwavasu batch we are launching on April 23rd with our auspicious name. Those who are interested to take coaching online or offline in English medium, they can approach CSBIS Academy. They can directly come to the Hyderabad and take coaching, or they can access this coaching online also. This coaching, the time frame of this coaching is 11 months, and we cover all the subjects with respect to prelims and mains. Those who are really interested to take coaching for civil services, they can access CSBIS Academy through these phone numbers. They can call, they can ask their queries. The phone numbers are displayed on the in front of the video and also in the comments box of the video. Thank you. Phone numbers and further details can be found in the description box below the video. Interested candidates who want to join this course can fill the Google form which is given in the description box below the video. Let us discuss important current affairs for today. India to host Global Technology Summit in Delhi from April 10th to April 12th. The 9th edition of Global Technology Summit is all set to take place in the national capital, and it started yesterday, April 10th. From April 10th to April 12th, bringing together some of the brightest minds across the world. The event will be inaugurated by External Affairs Minister Mr. Jaishankar, who will deliver the opening address during the Technology Summit's inaugural session. The Global Technology Summit is India's premier platform for high-level dialogue on geotechnology and is jointly organized by Ministry of External Affairs and Carnegie India. Carnegie India, founded in 2016, based in Delhi, is a part of a robust global network that includes over 170 scholars. So, this year's theme of Global Technology Summit is Sambhavna, a Hindi word meaning possibilities. Sambhavna means possibilities. So, the Global Technology Summit is said to have an action-packed agenda with over 40 public sessions lined up over 3 days. So, this is important. More than 150 renowned speakers from over 40 countries, including America, UK, Japan, Australia, France, Germany, Netherlands, Brazil, UAE, Nigeria, Philippines, and European Union are slated to participate. So, this is Global Technology Summit, started yesterday on April 10th. Next important news, as you all know, COP30 summit is going to be hosted by Brazil. Brazil has scheduled the preliminary round of negotiations that help countries to prepare for Global Climate Summit, known as COP30, UNFCCC COP30. So, the summit will be held in October, and the main events are going to start 1 month before. 1 month before. The early negotiations called pre-COP will take place in Brasilia, and later on, all countries will attend to the main negotiations, particularly with respect to greenhouse gas emissions, nationally determined contributions, etc. So far, more than 90 countries have failed to meet the February deadline with respect to submitting their new nationally determined contributions. So, in Brazil is going to host COP30 in October. So, Brazil is going to have preliminary round of talks, and most of the countries have not met their deadlines with respect to nationally determined contributions with respect to climate change. Next important news, India-Russia agrees on 6 new strategic projects to boost bilateral investment cooperation. India and Russia have agreed on 6 new strategic projects aimed at enhancing bilateral investment cooperation during the 8th session of the India-Russia Working Group on Priority Investment Projects. The session was already completed at New Delhi, and it was conducted under the India-Russia Intergovernmental Commission on Trade, Economic, Scientific, Technological and Cultural Cooperation. This is also important news that is coming up. India proposes to set up BIMSTEC Center for Excellence for Agriculture Cooperation in India. Union Minister for Agriculture and Farmers Welfare represented India at 3rd BIMSTEC Agricultural Ministerial Meeting held at Kathmandu. During this meeting, the Indian Agriculture Minister proposed the establishment of a Center of Excellence for Agriculture Cooperation. Agriculture ministers and senior agriculture officials from BIMSTEC countries attended this. Agriculture and food security is one of the core themes of BIMSTEC with respect to regional cooperation and connectivity. So, BIMSTEC Agriculture Ministerial Meeting was held at Kathmandu. BIMSTEC Agricultural Ministerial Meeting was held at Kathmandu. America suspended additional 26% tariff on India till July 9th, said by White House officials. America has announced the suspension of additional tariffs on India for 90 days until July 9th this year, according to the White House executive orders. On April 2nd, American President Donald Trump have levied universal duties on about almost all the top countries exporting goods to America and additional levies on the countries like India, potentially impacting sales of products from shrimp to steel in the world's biggest economy. Now, America temporarily suspended the 26% of additional tariffs levied on India till July 9th. Coming to report from World Trade Organization, US-China tariff war could cut between America and China by 80%. The tariff war will affect both America and China. The World Trade Organization said that America and China tariff war could reduce trade in goods between the two economic giants, that is America and China, by 80%, pulling down the rest of the world economy. President Donald Trump right now raised the tariffs on China to about 125%. As the world's two largest economies, they are fighting with retaliatory tariffs. This escalation of trade tensions between these two countries might affect both the countries, said by World Trade Organization chief. It might affect both the countries. There is one important news that is coming up, Thucydides trap. So it's a trending news. Actually, Thucydides trap was used first time recently, in the recent past, for the first time by Graham Allison. He was a very famous political scientist and professor of Harvard Kennedy School. Thucydides trap. What is this trap all about? The word Thucydides trap have come from 5th century BC when Athens and Sparta fought for dominance. Actually, Sparta is the dominant power, Athens is the rising power. Sparta doesn't like Athens' rising power, so Sparta started fighting with Athens. In between, there's a fight between Athens and Sparta, and both Athens and Sparta got destroyed, and finally Macedonia rose into power in Greek city-states. So, here, America and China, they are right now in Thucydides trap. They are fighting with each other, which will destroy each other, which will damage each other. So, right now, there is a trend that is going on between America and China called Thucydides trap. Thucydides trap the word was made famous in the recent past by Graham Allison, and he warned that the risk of falling into the historic Thucydides trap remains high if both America and China continue to pursue the rivalry in trade. Graham Allison emphasized that America and China are intricately linked across critical sectors like trade and finance. If any tariff war between both of them will affect both of them. Graham Allison drew a historic parallel to the Cold War, noting that America and Soviet Union, despite the threat of nuclear conflict, managed to avoid nuclear conflict or direct war because of the fear of mutual destruction. This lesson now should be applied to America and China also. This is the Thucydides trap. It's a very important term for IR students. This might be a direct question for IR. What is Thucydides trap? What is Thucydides trap? Thucydides trap originates from the Peloponnesian War in the 5th century BC Greece, where a rising Athens threatened the dominant Sparta, prompting a brutal conflict between Athens and Sparta. Finally, both Athens and Sparta have seen a downfall, and eventually Macedonia rose to power. The concept was named after Greek historian Thucydides, who chronicled the entire events. So, Thucydides trap. Now, America and China, they are in Thucydides trap. The very important news, Mr. Tahir Hussain Rana, who was the mastermind behind Mumbai terror attacks, got extradited to India. National Investigation Agency arrested him. He was brought to Delhi by a special flight following his extradition from America. Rana was produced before a special NIA judge who is hearing arguments on Rana's custody proceedings. And Rana right now got extradited, which triggered a heated exchange between the political parties in India also. Heavy security arrangements were made at the Indira Gandhi National Airport Heavy security arrangements were made at the Indira Gandhi International Airport while Rana was brought back. Tahur Rana, born in Pakistan, he studied in Pakistan Military Academy and he studied in Pakistan Military Academy where he became friends with David Coleman Headley, the Lashkar-e-Toiba operative who conducted reconnaissance for Mumbai attacks. So Headley is the main culprit. He should also be brought back. And the other news is coming up from IT Minister Ashwin Vaishnaw. The upcoming amendments to Right to Information Act 2005 will maintain the need for transparency in public life and will not restrict disclosure of personal information. Union Minister also said that there is no need to worry with respect to personal privacy, at the same time transparency. The new amendments will give due respect to transparency, and the Right to Information Act now is also being amended to be synchronized with Digital Personal Data Protection Act also. So there's a need to balance between personal data and transparency. So RTA Act is being amended. Right to Information Act 2005, it is being amended. The next important news is the hike of cost of living hike in Bangalore. The hike of cost of living in Bangalore. Government is in shortage of funds, Karnataka government, as it has to implement the 5 guarantee schemes. So it has to cover the deficit. So water tariffs, sewage tariffs, metro tariff, bus tariff, sale on petrol, diesel, medical services, stamp duty, registration hike from 13% to 47%. State and universities, annual hike was 10%. So almost the entirety of cost of living got increased, hiked in Bangalore. So it's very difficult to stay in Bangalore with middle class income. So Bangalore is going to become more costly city. The next important news, PM Poshan scheme. The center has to bear additional cost of 954 crores because of hike in prices with respect to oil and pulses. So we all know that PM Poshan is for nutritional support, particularly for the children and adults also, anemic women, adults and children. Many sub-schemes are covered under PM Poshan. So now the cost for the center was hiked because of rise in prices. Coming back, in most of the states in India, service sector is a driving force for GSDP growth. Almost in 10 largest states in terms of state's economy. For example, Tamil Nadu, the services GSVA, gross state value addition was around 12.7%, whereas Tamil Nadu GSDP was 9.5%. Andhra Pradesh, services GSVA is almost 8.4%, whereas the state GSDP is 7%. So, big news, where most of the states are driven by service sector. Most of the states' economies are driven by service sector. Coming back, there's a very big article in Press Information Bureau with respect to Naxal Mukt Bharat. There's a very detailed report on that. You all know that government launched Operation Kagar. Government also launched Aspirational Districts program. There was a civic engagement and people's participation in anti-Naxal activities. Telecommunications connect, employment generation, youth diversion, particularly towards developmental activities and jobs, infrastructure, security related expenditure was also beefed up, skill development was focused. Finally, India is targeting by March 31st, 2026, India should achieve Naxal Mukt Bharat.